How's everybody doing today? So what I'd like to talk about today is systemic and systematic fear. Recently a friend of mine did a zodiac chart reading on me, and found out that I have like 3 ley lines basically, that I was born with a natural high anxiety and systemic fear. And it's what it does is it mostly causes I worry about bad things happening, basically. I've been that way my whole life, and it's created like a gigantic anxiety that builds up over time, and it's something to deal with your entire life. And I think that's kind of helped me try to aim for a spiritual journey, because not understanding what I was going through and that anxiety, and not much other people were, I didn't know why that was happening to me. I'm like, why am I cursed with this? Why do I get higher and have to have higher anxiety and deal with that stuff than other people? And so when bad things do happen, it kind of like solidifies and instills that anxiety to be anxiety about the next thing that's going to happen. So it's kind of like I always talk about the snowball effect, where it just keeps slamming you, right? And also it's associated with PTSD. So childhood trauma does give you PTSD, and I've had some PTSD in my adult life too. I was in the service, and I've dealt with a bad relationship, extremely bad relationship. So you have PTSD from that. And on your spiritual journey, you have to do your spiritual practices in order to center yourself. But you always got this the deep down worry and anxiety that something else bad's going to happen, and you're trying to be optimistic and positive. But here in the background, the shadow is tapping you on the shoulder. Hey, no, got something bad happening. You better start worrying about it. So some of you may suffer from this, and that's why I talk about it. I suffer from it majorly. So you're not the only one out there. I probably wouldn't have started this channel and been on a spiritual journey if I didn't have this PTSD and this high anxiety. And of course, when I start a video, there's a huge machine down a barren road with no traffic, just starts operating. I went somewhere where it was supposed to be quiet, and of course a construction machine is starting to run now. This is nuts. Of course, right? Of course it happens. But anyways, hopefully they'll turn the idle down or whatever. But either way, just know that there's people out there that are dealing with high anxiety like yourself and PTSD. The therapy that's needed is through meditation and strong, undeniable belief that you will be okay, and stay optimistic and positive. Now, it's a difficult task. Trust me. I'm giving you this video to let you know that it's difficult, because I deal with it all the time. But if you're somebody that suffers with high anxiety and PTSD, you kind of have to work harder at it, because you're kind of fighting a battle that a lot of other people aren't. If you're skating through life and you're kind of happy-go-lucky and carefree, your positivity, your optimism is giving you good luck all the time, and the serendipity is being hitting you all the time, and you're always living good life. But when you have high anxiety, your serendipity gets blocked, because the fear and the anxiety now put up the barricade, and you can't help, because it's internally, naturally instinctive to have the anxiety and the fear. So it's you take the sledgehammer and hit the wall to try to break it down, but as soon as it breaks it down, the bricks start building it back up again. Like a video game, you hit a wall and it just starts repairing itself. So you can never walk through the wall, because it's constantly rebuilding. Every time you have a thought of anxiety or PTSD or something bad is going to happen, the bricks just keep piling up, and you can never, you're getting tired of hitting with a sledgehammer. So you have to like take a step back and figure out how you're going to get that RPG to blow it up so it can't rebuild itself whatsoever. And that RPG is doing your practices. Write in your journal every day of what you're experiencing, your emotions, that you have to let go of outcome. Letting go of outcome is kind of the solution to the anxiety thing or the bad things happening, because if you're not worried about, or letting go of outcome, you're not worried about what's going to happen, that the anxiety can't be there because it just like falls on its face. You're like, so what if, whatever happens, happens. If you fall off a cliff, you fall off a cliff, or, your bank account gets drained from someone just like stealing your credit card or something, and you don't have anything left over and you lose your house, so be it. I'm talking about extreme examples, but that's kind of the mindset that you have to have. When you're walking freely, the freedom is from let going of outcome. The freedom that you have in your life is that. So you can't walk around free if you're carrying the anxiety and the PTSD. You'll keep running into bad things. But if you let go of outcome and just walk around freely, you're dodging the arrows in battle, so to speak. I'm using that as an analogy, like battle's not a positive thing, but you have arrows coming at you, you're dodging them left and right, you're just walking through the battlefield unscathed. And you go to the other side, and the other side has a pot of gold waiting for you, and a castle, and a princess for you to marry, or a prince if you're a woman. Same deal, right? But you're letting go of outcome. You're like, I'm not afraid anymore. And me not being afraid anymore, that weight is off my shoulders. I can breathe. I can be optimistic because I know I'm safe. Because a lot of times we seek safety in others, so we talk to other people about therapy to get it off our chest. Well, here's the problem with this. You talk about your emotions and you tell other people, guess what? You're fine for a day or two. But does that PTSD and the anxiety come back to you? I bet you $1 million it does. Because you didn't really let it go. You just talked about it to get it off your chest, like your emotions off your chest, but you didn't deal with the situation. Let's say you're about to lose your house. So you talk to your friend about it. You're crying, or you're mad, or you tell them, I'm so tired of this. I'm making my payments and they're still taking my house away from me. And you're sitting down, have a cup of tea with your friend, and it makes you feel better for that moment. But 2 days later, when you're back at home with your kids, and the bill comes in the mail and says your house is about to get foreclosed, or the landlord's about to take it back if you're renting it, that anxiety is going to shoot right back up again, right? What are you going to do? Call your friend again and talk about your anxiety while you're getting kicked out of your house? No, you have to let the serendipity come to you by letting go of outcome. You say, I don't care if I lose this house. I'm an infinite spiritual being living, having a temporary human experience. I am able to live in a nice house by divine right in perfect ways. That affirmation will put you into something else. So let's say even if you leave that house, the house across the street will be open, the garage, and you start putting your stuff in the garage from across the street. Now, I mean, that's like a really coincidental example, but you get what I'm saying. Like, there'll be something else available, open for you to move into that you'll like better, and then you'll be able to pay the payments on it, whether if it's renting or mortgage. Fine. But the other one place you had a problem with because you had anxiety about it. But now this new place, you don't feel the anxiety anymore because you let go of outcome, and now you're able to pay the bills. See how that works? It's like the 1, 2, 3 step scenario. It is the play by play. It like lets you go into the law of attraction. But the anxiety will stop the law of attraction because you're having the fear, and you can't bring positive attraction to you if you're in a fear state. You bring negative attraction. I don't like the term positive and negative, but a higher vibration where you're not receiving bad things all the time is what I mean by that. However you think about it, that's how you think about it. You'll get your power back because you're creating the simulation, and the only way to control it is to letting go of outcome and raising that law of attraction. The law of attraction, law of assumption now gives you the keyboard to start. Like if you're a computer programmer changing the simulation, now you can type in the new code to adjust it however you want. You're giving yourself friends, you're giving yourself $1 million. You're typing in, I have a mansion, I have a Lamborghini. Now you're typing in the new code because you know that you're creating it, so you let go of outcome. If you know you're creating it, you know that you're creating the bad, and you know that you're creating the good, so might as well create the good instead of the bad, right? But that's what I wanted to talk about today. Hope you guys liked the view. I don't know if you can see the mountains behind me or not, just past those trees, and I hope that that construction machine didn't make too much noise in the video. But as always, I greatly appreciate you guys watching my videos, and have a nice day.